This week marks 10 years since the deadly floods that devastated Colorado, stretching from small mountain towns all the way out to the eastern plains. That's where streams and creeks carved new paths running through towns, and the rushing water would wash away homes and livelihoods as well. Those floods would reshape some communities, and the recovery took years. They were disruptive in many ways. The floods turned the town of Lyons into an island, and students had to miss school. The flooding, well, it certainly disrupted sports as well.
The Lions football team was a team without a field for a year. Today, we look back at 2014, a year after the floods, and how the Lions football team took a step toward recovery. Here is Aaron Matus.
Look at the St. Vrain today. Listen to it. And it is easy to forget the power it has.
We have the State Emergency Center has been activated to a level 3 category of alert.
Well, this is the St. Vrain River, and I stopped here because I wanted to give you a sense of the power of this thing.
There are parts of Lyons that remain completely cut off, essentially, from the rest of Colorado.
When the flood happened, we didn't know we were going to have a football team that whole year.
Last September, the river alongside Lyons showed its might.
You understand that, you know what, this is going to be a long recovery, and even after everything looks normal, to always be a staple in the Lions community, something that I think changed us and made us who we are.
It was a very difficult time for everybody, especially the, people losing their homes, the seniors from last year not being able to play on their home field anymore.
Access cut off, the high school on an island.
Let's go, come on!
The football team played on, but did so holding practices and home games in other cities.
Score, Zach! Score, Zach! The waiting game, just figuring out when would we get back to football and when would we get back to normal.
Today, the road to the school is repaired, albeit a dirt path, a correction that wasn't done in time to salvage the 2013 football season.
Talking to the senior guys last year, and we only had 4, but all of them, they said the biggest bummer about last year was not being able to play out here. I honestly think we have one of the most beautiful settings for high school football in the country.
High school football is the best, so we're glad to be here.
Here.
First things first, you're going to hit each other. Okay, get warmed up, get loosened up.
At home.
Drive it out, drive them out. Good.
For the first time since the floods.
Good fight.
The Lions are back on their home field with the pads on.
I think it really just brought us all together, and thus football players who are coming back who experienced that. We're really a lot more grateful this year to be able to be back here in our own facilities, own field. And I think that'll kind of push us to just not take it for granted and just enjoy every game we have here.
This is like our home.
We love out here, the mountains, everything.
It's the best feeling in the world, being on that home field. It's a special feeling you get.
Set, go! Good read there, Joe. A little bit more on it. That's the right read, though.
That's why we're really working on your lower body. You can make that throw.
I didn't hear a
but you
bingo
got to drive on it.
The Lions summer camp was their first real chance to get back on their grass.
Go! Play on that left foot. Left foot.
Football.
Go score, Max. Go score. Go score. Great job.
On a field that is as Colorado as it gets.
It's my town. It's my field, and if I wouldn't have been able to play here my senior year, it'd just be devastating. Just for us players, when we're out there and we can just look around and kind of see the mountains all around us, kind of just feel at home.
Unfortunately, damage and cleanup don't recede like floodwater. Lyons has many steps left to take. The football team coming home is an important one.
I think the football team is just a good point to rally upon on that recovery. And I think the whole town, we all want to see us do well after what we've been through last year.
They're expecting us to go out and compete and represent the town and say that even though we got knocked down, we can still come back.
We have a lot of work to do, boys. A lot of work. All right? But you guys are seeing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Once it happens, you guys are going to be unstoppable.
That's it.
Okay?
The Lions have hopes of playing in the season's final game. The climb to that goal begins August 29th at home.
You don't know what you have till you don't have it. This would be their first chance to have it back.
Thanks again for playing Lions football. It's a great program, and let's win a state championship.
It's good to hear Aaron's voice again and tell that story again of the Lions football team.
What it meant when you think about, you take it for granted, the home football field and practicing at home. And I look at those guys now, and they're like 27 years old.
Yeah, the impact that that flooding had and continues to have in some ways. So something tomorrow we're going to take a close look at. We're going to be out in Jamestown tomorrow for our show to try and talk more about what's happened in the 10 years since and what did happen 10 years ago.
Yeah, and these small communities, they really stepped up for each other. They really took care of each other.